With the SVB collapse, here's how you can predict what's going to happen next. I'm going to share with you exactly how to know what's coming next. And I'm going to show you the dots from the history that you will then be able to connect for yourself to be able to know exactly what to prepare for. So let me go back to something I posted 11 years ago, which is the topic of the Federal Reserve, which if you don't know, it's a private entity. They pretend and say it's private, public, not really sure. So here I'm going to show evidence of everything I'm saying. They try to make it seem okay by, blatantly say, yeah, we are, but we're not. Okay, now let's go to the federal chairman of the past, Alan Greenspan, and let's hear from his own words what he says.
The Federal Reserve is an independent agency, and that means basically that there is no other agency of government which can overrule actions that we take.
The absolute bravado that these guys have. But anyways, I'm going to share a couple more things that I actually misquoted slightly and interpreted incorrectly, but let's go back to President Woodrow Wilson. So this quote is basically correct minus one or two things. Let me show you the proof that he actually wrote this about the centralization of credit, essentially banking into the few hands of the banking shadow, what I would call the banking shadows today. This is from a national archive from a certain book. You can see the top in the URL, but if you want to pause here and read his quote, again, it's the same quote. It's just there's one or two sentences at the beginning that were actually not really something that he said. And this is from his book, New Freedom, that he wrote. So if you want to read this, you're more than welcome to pause. And here's the rest of it. So that's from his book, Woodrow Wilson himself. By the way, who was the one who signed into law in 1913, the Federal Reserve Act, which coincidentally, everybody's favorite taxing agency came out of that right afterwards, coincidentally. So the collapse of SVB is to generate a fear atmosphere in the public and also gauge how the public responds, but also to tee up what they're going to do next. I also had shared this quote from Jefferson, which is actually incorrect. You can see the real quotes that quote was based off of right here and here, but let's not forget that Business Insider as well as Forbes posted this back in 2011. So it was circulated commonly on the internet back in 11, 12. So to go back, this is the preparation for them to create the CBDC, which is central bank digital currency that they're moving towards. So here's the answer. None of this is new, like Enron. This will continue to happen again and again until the consciousness of the masses raises. You, we all start to step into our purpose and fulfill on it while we are here on Earth. And recognize, like in the 2008 crisis, the people who are in charge are going to try to co-opt things that are actually there to make positive changes of impact in the world. The answer is more freedom and less centralization.